Welcome, guys, to our first episode of the Kishanakama Room. I am your host, GR Chris, and joining me is co-host Colin D. Taku. Say what's up.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
So today, what we're gonna be talking about is like how me and Colin got into YouTube and into anime, really, and we're also gonna be talking about how I got my little collab with the Masked Man. And if you guys haven't checked that out, I'll put the link in the description in the video below. But yeah, so Colin, you want to go first of like how you got into anime?
Yeah, okay, so it all kind of started when I was really young and I was watching Cartoon Network, and it wasn't anime that got me into anime, actually. It was Teen Titans. I was watching Teen Titans as a kid. It was one of my favorite series. The original one, of course.
Right.
And
because we all know Teen Titans Go is really garbage.
it's offensive. It's offensive.
For real. Yo, my little sister watches that, and I'm just like, why are you watching this? This isn't
Yo,
good.
okay. My siblings were watching Teen Titans Go, and I was like, you stop right now. I left. I went to Hastings, which was a thing at the time, and I bought all of Teen Titans, and I was like, here you go. Stop watching that garbage.
For real. Because, I mean, like, I don't know what were the creators thinking of like taking on a spectacular show that is Teen Titans and then like making it into like into like this little this abomination. That's the best way I could describe it, like an abomination of art. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I don't know what the studio was thinking and what was going on with all of it, but I prefer to pretend it didn't happen. Anyway, after Teen Titans, which remained one of my favorite things throughout my childhood, I still recall it fondly. The first anime I ever watched was when I was about give or take 15, and it was Dead Man Wonderland as my very first anime.
That was one of my first too, but keep going.
And I enjoyed it, but it was almost off-putting how insanely different it was. So I didn't really watch anime super quickly immediately after Dead Man Wonderland. As much as I did enjoy it, and looking back on it, I look back on it fondly. Eventually, I got around to Fairy Tail because a friend recommended it to me, who watched the first few arcs and was like, "Yeah, man, if you want a good shonen to watch, I suggest Fairy Tail." And I was like, "Okay." So I got into Fairy Tail, and I got into Fairy Tail way more than any of my friends did. I watched all of Fairy Tail twice, and then Fairy Tail Zero is my favorite arc in Fairy Tail.
Right.
Just for fun facts. But after I finished Fairy Tail, and this was before the final season at the time, which I have watched the final season now, but after I finished Fairy Tail, I kind of went into this phase of being a weeb that we all know as shonen tardism.
Like, was it like a cringy type of weave phase or what?
No, not cringy, but shonen tardism, as in like I watched exclusively shonen for a good amount of time. Like, I tried getting into Naruto.
So that guy
I tried getting into all this shit.
So wait, Colin, you were that guy that was like, okay, everything else is garbage, but shonen, basically, right? At least that point.
I was never the type to say that everything else was garbage that I hadn't seen, even when I was a shonen tard. I was the guy who was like, I'm not gonna watch it because it's not full of blood, action,
and
happy. And
that you were looking for.
Yeah. I wanted non-stop action and power of friendship and happiness and like the typical shonen formula. That's what I wanted. Right. I wanted it over and over and over again on repeat because I was so hype after Fairy Tail.
Yeah, because like the shonen formula is a really good formula, but you know, like it's also like overused. So I mean, it is what it is, man. But yeah, keep going. You can continue with what you're saying.
There were 3 shows that broke me out of that shonen tardism and got me into the rest of the genre of anime. Right. First of all, I'm gonna say Spice and Wolf. Spice and Wolf got me into the prospect of romance that I could really enjoy. It was something that I didn't understand why I was enjoying it so much, because it was slow-paced, there was little to no action, and it was just amazing character development and amazing world building and economy, basically. And then a hinted love story in the background that really took off in season 2.
Right.
And for some reason, that just pulled on my heartstrings, and it became, to this day, my favorite series. Which is subject to change after I watch more and I've seen more. But to this day, Spice and Wolf is my favorite series. Which, going from Shonen Tardism to that was a bit of a transition. I was like, maybe I should give more things a chance. So the 2 other things that took me away from Shonen Tardism was actually Tokyo Ghoul, which you could consider kind of a shonen in the anime, but after I watched Tokyo Ghoul the first season, I read the manga, and the manga is not shonen, to put it blankly. Like, that's no.
Yeah, it's a seinen. It's definitely a seinen.
Yeah.
I was kind of shocked too, because like when I saw Tokyo Ghoul, I thought it was shonen as well. Especially after the way the first season ended, I was like, okay, this is like it has like those shonen tropes to it.
Yeah, kind of like dark shonen.
Yeah, and then when I got to the manga is when I got all that like extended content, because there's a lot of stuff that is cut out from the Tokyo Ghoul anime. Once I got that extended content, is when it opened my eyes. I was like, okay, this is definitely not shonen. This is definitely for more 18 and plus. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, and then aside from that, I was with the crowds who watched Attack on Titan, and Attack on Titan definitely also shifted me into more of a seinen direction. And even though Attack on Titan is another classical case of shonen kind of slowly becoming seinen, which honestly I really like that formula. I like a shonen that becomes a seinen.
Yeah, because it shows like the story evolves. Because with Attack on Titan, that's definitely what happened. It started off, you know, like with the same shonen tropes, and then it evolved into something more, and it became this amazing thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, for sure. And after watching the first season of Attack on Titan and the first season of Tokyo Ghoul and the first 2 seasons of Spice and Wolf, I was like, you know what? I'm okay watching anything when it comes to anime. I'll give it all a shot. I watched High School DxD, and I was like, okay, maybe not everything is for me, but I can see how people enjoy it.
Yeah, right. It's a guilty pleasure. It's a guilty pleasure, basically.
Yeah, and it was like, I only watched maybe the first half of the first season of High School DxD, and I was like, you know, this isn't necessarily my thing, but I don't judge people who it is their thing. That's fine.
Right.
Sword Art Online was like just a painful experience because the first arc was so good, and then he wakes up in the hospital, and you're like, this would be a great place to end, and then it just keeps going.
Right.
And that said, I have touched on the new manga that's being written for Sword Art Online, and that is super hype because that is like just the Aincrad arc done right. If the whole anime was an Aincrad arc, then that's what the manga is for it right now, which is just it's way better.
Right. I'll have to check that out, because I mean, because with Sword Art Online, like I saw the first episode and I was just like, it's not. I don't know. It wasn't my cup of tea, but I'll definitely try again and like follow through, because you know, like throughout the time I've been watching anime, I've noticed this thing where like sometimes there are shows that start off like really slow and then they become amazing. So I really have to like push myself to like actually watch all of Sword Art Online, because I also know the thing. What happens. What happened?
You don't watch all of Sword Art Online. just read it. Just
why?
Just read the new spin-off manga. The new one about, I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but just where it's all of the Aincrad arc. Like, okay. I know I'm gonna get hate from some people being like, don't watch all of Sword Art Online, because I understand the Alicization arc is not as bad as the rest of it, but right. Like, it's not a terrible thing. Sword Art Online is definitely hated on too much, which I understand. One of my first anime, Fairy Tail, was hated on too much. That happens. Like but at the same time, like, for me, Sword Art Online overall is like the most 7 out of 10 anime that's ever been a 7 out of 10 anime.
I mean, to my surprise, a lot of people think that's you saying like Sword Art Online is like terrible. It's like the worst anime when you give it a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 is a good rating. That's what it means. It's not. It doesn't mean that it's bad, but it doesn't mean it's like the best thing ever either.
Yeah, it's not amongst my favorites. It's not great. It's not something that I thought was a masterpiece by any means. But was it a good watch? Yeah, it was a good watch. I wouldn't recommend people watch it over if they've not seen literally everything else that's like amazing out there. Then I wouldn't necessarily recommend people to watch it. But I'm not going to tell them not to watch it. It's just, you know, there's definitely better
There's
things
bumpy
you can spend
roads
your time
with
doing.
Sword Art Online, basically.
Yeah, I would recommend the first arc. First arc is maybe an 8.5 out of 10 for me. I would say go watch the first arc, and then if you want more, sure.
Okay. So I'll definitely do that. But I think it's my turn. Should I come in and talk about like how I got into anime, or do you have anything else to like input?
Yeah, I'm just about done. The only thing that I would change since those three, as far as my evolution as a weeb, was when I watched JoJo's. JoJo's definitely brought me to a whole nother plane, a whole nother plane of weeb.
Let's go! And we got another JoJo.
Since I've watched JoJo's, my eyes have been opened to anime, and like, I'm okay with some different types of things now. Like, I really do enjoy JoJo's, and when I first watched the first season, it was kind of like, the first season was nice actually because it was like softcore JoJo's. It was like you can get into JoJo's softly, and then like Stardust Crusaders hits, and you're like, oh, JoJo's,
like,
yes.
It goes crazy after that. But no, definitely,
right,
JoJo's is definitely one example that I would say like it has a rocky start. Not gonna lie, but the thing is, I don't know why people hate on part one when part one is a really good story because it's really solid, right? Because it has a beginning, middle, and end to it, and it has, you know, a clear view of who's bad and who is right. Who's bad and who's the good guy. You know what I mean? And it's like and that's solid to me. That's solid storytelling to me. You know, like
with just enough weirdness to get you into JoJo's.
Right, exactly. And also, if have you like gotten to the manga yet? You know, of JoJo's?
I've dabbled in it, but I've not really like delved into it, and that's why I haven't watched all of your videos, is because I don't want to spoil myself because I really enjoy JoJo's, and I am definitely going to read the manga.
But yeah,
that is a definite.
I'd say from part 6 to like early part 7 is where you also see like what you were talking about, how like, you know, how you said you like when a series goes, or when a shonen series goes from like being shonen and then to seinen. That's definitely what happens with JoJo's. JoJo's, I'd say from like part 6 and up is when we start to see like Araki going in more, like diving into like more like seinen themes and stuff like that, until we get to like I'd say like chapter 23 of part 7. So if you ever like go back to the manga, or even if you just wait for the anime, that's what you're in for, bro. That's what I'm just saying. I'm just getting that out.
I'm excited.
Oh man.
All right, Chris. I'm totally ready. How did you get into anime? Let us all know.
All right. So the way I got into anime was basically I was watching Dragon Ball Z Kai. Yes, I know, not the best, you know, way to get into Dragon Ball, because you know I was missing out on the Bruce Falconer music from like the Toonami dub of Dragon Ball. But still, I still got into anime through Dragon Ball Z Kai. But the thing is, from I think it was like 2009, 2010. That's when it was airing on Saturday mornings. I think it was on the 4Kids channel. But after that, I didn't really like watch a lot of anime. After that, like it was just Dragon Ball, and I'd say Yu-Gi-Oh, especially Road to Destiny. That was the only thing that I saw. And then from there, it wasn't until I got to high school where I met my friends, and then I was just like shit. I'm not gonna lie, I was shit talking on anime a lot. I was like, this is garbage, this is that. But it wasn't until my friends opened my eyes and they told me, watch Hellsing, watch Dead Man Wonderland, watch High School of the Dead, and watch High School DxD, and watch, you're gonna love anime. And then they also told me to watch Death Note. Once I saw those, I was like, okay, I'm on board with this again. Okay, I see what you guys why you guys love this so much. But it was after I finished those, I then branched off to like I wanted to like go into like darker series, right? So that's when I went back to like anime from the 80s, and I saw like probably like Ninja Scroll, I saw like a lot of gory anime from the 80s. I think one called Rikyo. It was an OVA that came out in the 80s. I also saw Fist of the North Star, and I was really into that. And then after that, I went on YouTube and looked for like darker anime, and then until I found Berserk, and I was like, okay, let me watch this because this seems fun. And Berserk has been my favorite series ever since after that, and I've just been diving more and more into like more series after that too. Like I've been watching a lot of like what I'm trying to say is that I'm not like after watching Berserk I wasn't like I wanted to dive into more different things. I was willing to like go and look for stuff that has not been seen before, stuff from other than the mainstream stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, I totally get that.
But yeah. I mean, that's basically how I got into anime. That's basically it. Hello?
Hey, dude, that's a pretty good story. I mean, Berserk is something that's been a bit of an object for me to tackle, if I'm honest. I really like what I've read so far, and it's just been.
Wait, what arc are you in
like
now?
No, I'm still on like the second chapter, dude. Like,
whoa,
I've hardly started Berserk. Like,
still early on.
Like, I'm a Berserk baby, dude. I've had such a difficult time. Like, I read all the like pre-chapter 1 stuff because there were a few chapters that were like 0A or whatever, 0B, 0C, 0D.
Yeah.
So I read all of that, and like the only thing is like that it's a good vibe. Everything is good and I'm enjoying it, but it's so different. It has that JoJo's feel of being so different from everything else that I've read, where it's like, yo, this is just gonna take some adjustment.
Right. That's definitely what the same thing that happened to me, because I saw a lot of gory anime from the 80s and stuff, and I was like, okay, this is, but it was more like a feeling like, okay, this is like meaningless, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is just being edgy, you know what I'm saying? But with Berserk, it just felt, it had that, but it also felt different. Like, it was like there was actually, we were working towards something, at least in the first few chapters, because the first few chapters, I'm not gonna lie, they were really edgy. I'm not gonna lie. Everybody knows that the first 3 chapters of Berserk are really edgy, and you know it could put people off. You know what I mean? It isn't until we after the Black Swordsman arc where we actually dive into the meat of the story. You know what I mean? And we get like all the character development, all that deep stuff that we see in a lot of anime and stuff. But yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna just throw this out there because I've kind of started to be known as the manhwa guy with my friends. I also definitely really heavily got into manhwa about a year ago, and that has been another evolution that I kind of missed in my journey. Because when I first got into it, nobody else read manhwa.
Oh, so you were the one that was like, okay, I'm gonna be different from everybody else. I'm gonna read something nobody.
And then Crunchyroll came in. Crunchyroll came in and it was like, we're dropping anime for manhwa. And I was like, hell the frick yeah.
Yeah, because, I mean, like, when we spoke on our last collab, we was like, oh, like there are good stories in manhwa. Like, we have Noblesse, we have, how you call it? Killing Stalking. We have, I forgot the other ones that you mentioned.
You have Sweet Home, you have
Bastard.
Solo Leveling. You have Bastard. Oh my gosh. You have Bastard.
To read that.
You have what's it called? I just had this recommended to me. I can't remember and I feel terrible. Check out my last video, the video that you and I did a collab on. Someone put some really good manhwa recommendations in there. Thank you so much for those recommendations. I will definitely be looking into them. Lookism is one that I've heard amazing things about. I'm reading Skeleton Warrior That Couldn't Protect the Dungeon right now, and that is really enjoyable. There's just so much in manhwa that I would definitely recommend to people.
Oh man. Well, here's the thing. I don't know if this is like an issue for you, but like, do you ever feel like you just have like so much to like watch and read that you're just overwhelmed by it, and you're just like, okay, I'm not even gonna do it. Have you ever felt like that?
Right now, I'm reading Record of Ragnarok, I'm reading Skeleton Warrior That Couldn't Protect the Dungeon, and I'm reading Berserk. And on top of all of that, I still need to watch One Piece.
Oh my god. I was gonna watch One Piece, but I was like, no, I'm not gonna watch it. Let me read it, because I think I'm a faster reader than just watch.
I just finished the Alabasta arc in One Piece, so I've definitely got my. I'm definitely like ankles deep, which is like scary because I've read over 100 chapters and I'm ankles deep.
Oh,
so
man.
it's like,
Colin's like, yo,
frick,
there's no going
man.
back now. Like, I'm already in there. Like, there's no going
I'm already
back.
ankles deep in One Piece, man.
Bro. I want to get into One Piece because it looks so much fun. I think that One
And
Piece
it
is
is.
like the only the only series from the big three that I'm just like, okay, I really want to get into this, because I seen Naruto and I was like, this is not for me. Dragon Ball, I already knew what it was, and it was just like, it got boring to it like at a certain point. So, but One Piece looks like it's like always evolving, because I heard from other people like online and stuff, they say like there's different islands and each island has like its kind of like its own personality in a way, like the way Oda like describes it and stuff like that. Like he goes into depth, and then the power system in One Piece is cool. I just love that Luffy has like he's Mr. Fantastic from the Fantastic Four, right? Like he's just like he can just like stretch and stuff, and you could just make his body like bigger if you wanted to, or smaller. Like that's fucking cool to me, to be honest.
He's small brain, big mouth, Mr. Fantastic,
Exactly.
and he's great.
There we go. That's the best way to describe Luffy.
On top of all of that, One Piece is just a really good adventure. I definitely would recommend it to people from what I've read so far. Just only if you're ready to buckle in.
Right. Because I mean, what chapter are they in? Are they all now? Like what, 1,000? Because last time I checked,
close,
we were like
very
in,
close.
900 something.
It's in like the 960s, somewhere around there, something like that, I think. Man, it's insane. One Piece is so long.
Jesus.
I'm legitimately a little bit scared of it, but that's okay.
Jesus Christ.
You know, you brought up the big three, and I kind of just want to say this: the big three being One Piece, Naruto, and Bleach. We all know that Dragon Ball Z is just daddy.
Well, yeah, you could say that. Yeah, true. Because I mean, because like no, you're right. Because like thinking about it now, like when the term the big three came out, when it was just like One Piece, Naruto, and Bleach, right? If I'm not mistaken. And then
those
out
were
of
the big
nowhere,
three.
people just started like, the internet did its work, and it was just like, okay, Bleach is out, so just put Dragon Ball in there, right?
Yeah, that's kind of what happened. And then you have the whole debate on the new big three and stuff, which is kind of silly in my opinion.
Black Clover, and what else was it?
I don't even know, dude. It's really the big two, MHA and Black Clover, and nothing else really touches them right now in the shonen scene.
Yeah,
like you can put anything you want in that third place. MHA and Black Clover are dominating the shonen scene in like current day anime, and I'm not saying that makes them better than the old big three, because it definitely doesn't.
Hunter x Hunter.
I do love Black Clover, not going to lie, but
I stopped at episode 30.
I definitely don't.
I'm sorry.
I don't think it's praiseworthy enough to get up there with the old big three right now. I wouldn't. I think calling it like a member of the new big three is a little bit presumptuous at this point.
I don't know. Like, it's just that. It's like I told you before, like the shonen formula. It's a really good formula, but it's just been overused a lot.
Oh yeah.
And so I think that's what made me now like maybe stop investing my time in Black Clover and in MHA too, because they're not bad series, right? They're not bad at all. But it's just that I've seen like it's predictable, like it's like, okay, this is what's gonna happen, the power of friendship and all of that stuff, right? And it's just like, okay, like that's what's gonna happen. I need something more now,
I get that. For me, like, I love having something more, and I need something more for sure. Shonen is not enough for me, but at the same time, there's always going to be a little part of my brain that gets that little taste of shonen tardism hype, and it's just like, oh yes, it gets so hype, it's so happy.
I mean, Magi's shonen, right?
Magi's a shonen, and Magi is a beautiful shonen. If you haven't watched or read Magi, first go watch The Adventure of Sinbad, and then read the manga.
I noticed, I think it was like chapter 5 when Alibaba and Aladdin were in a dungeon, and they mentioned Sinbad. So I was like, okay, so this is the prequel to this story. So I had to go check that out too. But I don't know.
So I just want to get this out of the way for people getting into it. People getting into it, you need to, if you're watching the anime, first watch The Adventure of Sinbad, and then watch Magi Season 1 and 2. If you're reading the manga, first read the Magi manga, and then read the Sinbad manga.
Right. But I mean, when I got into Magi, right? I don't know, it was just this thing that clicked for me. Because, I mean, Magi definitely has, the shonen tropes, right? But I was just so down to like how unique it was compared to a lot of other like animes, like in the shonen demographic and stuff. And I was just like, holy shit, this is totally different, but it's the same thing at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a whole different Middle Eastern vibe they give, and I think it's really one of the things Magi shines in is the vibe that it gives off, because it's something that kind of displaces it from the rest of its genre.
I mean, it basically took the Disney movie Aladdin, basically, right, and it evolved it into something else, basically, right? I think that's how it came about. At least I think that's how it came about. I think that's what
I think
the
it's more
author
taken
was going
from
through her head. She was like, okay, I saw Aladdin. Let me take Aladdin, make him like create a new Aladdin in my style, and create a story off of this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's more based off the original like content for Aladdin, which are both taken from 1001 Arabian Nights. So I think it's probably more based off that. Because that's what she said she kind of drew her inspiration from, and it's obvious because there's a lot of characters from the 1001 Arabian Nights that make appearances. Which is kind of like, it's old Persian legend, basically, with touches from other things from all over the world at this point.
Right. But I mean, I'm so down to continue Magi. It was just such a cool read. I had so much fun. Aladdin, he's just a great character. Like his comedy moments are amazing. Like
I couldn't encourage you to read Magi more. Like Magi is like one of my top recommendations for people.
It's fucking great, dude. Like Magi is amazing. And I'm saying that, and I'm just still like so early on. So, but no doubt, like I think Magi has the potential to like reach like my top 10. I think I told you this when you commented on one of my videos and stuff, that it might reach either my top 20 or it could potentially reach my top 10 depending how the story goes. And no doubt, I think it could pull it off. I think it could pull it off, to be honest.
So, do you want to talk about how we got into YouTube?
Oh man. All right. So, I mean, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I can go first, and then after I go, I'll have you go, and I'll ask you the big question that we've all been waiting for.
Right.
But first, we'll talk about how I got into YouTube. Man, I have been watching like anime YouTubers ever since like my fairy tale days, where I watched Underrated Mage. I watched Underrated Mage, was kind of the first AniTuber I really enjoyed, and at the same time I got into like Giguk and the Anime Man, all the big players.
Right. When
Nuxtaku got to about 60,000 subscribers is when I subscribed, so I've been with Nuxtaku for a long time too. And I just enjoyed them. I watched just as much AniTube as I watched anime.
Right.
And eventually, at some point, I was like, I want to do this too. I really enjoy this. Like, I enjoy watching it. I want to do it. I want to create it. So, I took some inspiration and I started trying to do stuff when I was like 16. I made an AMV channel, and I did other stuff. And I tried doing a read through on some things. I tried this and whatnot. And most of those videos have been either deleted or taken down at this point. And none of them are on this channel, and I'm not gonna help you guys find them.
those are in a safe file. You guys don't need to know about that.
Yeah.
Restricted content, guys. Go ahead.
After that, I kind of was like, you know what? I don't have a nice computer. I don't have the right setup. I'm just gonna put it off until I have like everything I need to do it absolutely, immaculately, professionally with like a $7,000 setup, right?
Right.
And then I turned 20 and I still haven't gotten that. And I'm like, you know what? I have a $200 laptop. I have a $100 microphone, and I have a $1,600 phone. Well, it's more like $800 now.
Yeah.
But I have some technology. I have what I need to make it happen, even if it's not as good as it could be.
Right.
So I decided I'm just gonna dive in. I'm gonna start YouTube, and I'm gonna commit 2 videos a week. I'm gonna do everything I can, everything within my capability. I'm gonna edit as best I can, and it might not be as good as you're gonna get from people with the amazing, great professional setups who've been doing this for a while.
Right.
But in order to get there, I'm gonna start here, and be damned if I'm not gonna do my best every step of the way.
Right. I mean, it's like you
And
said.
that's a short story for me. That's how I got into YouTube. It's real short, but that's me. That's how I got where I am now.
Yeah. No, but it's like you said when we were on our first collab, that I mean basically what you said about that Nux said was like, oh, like, if you don't show that you're at least enjoying what you're doing, you're not gonna flourish. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Enjoying your content is like the most important aspect of it for me, because the viewers are going to see what you're enjoying, and they're not going to be able to enjoy it if you're not enjoying it. Right. So you have to have at least be having fun while you do what you do.
Right. Even despite even the technical restrictions that one may have, but as long as you show that you're having fun, and also like the content that you're doing, and always trying to find new ways to evolve with what you have, I think people will appreciate that, at least, because I definitely noticed that too. When we starting off YouTube, that despite me having using my PS4 headset to record my voice and stuff, and not having the best video editing software, people still manage to be like, hey, like, I really appreciated your video, or this is a nice video and stuff like that. Or they will also give me advice of like how to like better my content, you know what I mean? So it's like it shows that also you don't really have to have like the best technology to start YouTube. The whole thing is just starting, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, all right, let me tell you guys my story, how I got into YouTube, man. Why I really wanted to get into YouTube.
I'm ready, Chris. Let's go. Tell us your story of how you got into YouTube.
Okay, so basically I started watching AniTubers back in 2018. I started watching Nunks too, and it was mostly because I started Berserk at that time. So I was like, okay, I want to see like who else likes this series, because none of my friends liked it, right? So I was like, okay, Berserk reviews, right? So then I found Chibi reviews, and then I found I don't know if you heard of him, but his name is Alex Enterprises. He's one of like the most underrated, I guess, when it comes to AniTube. And then I saw Spired's video, Boo Fire, but then there was always something about it. Like I wanted to do YouTube at that time, but I was always putting it off because for the same reasons as you, like technical restrictions, or I was like also in my own head, like, okay, I probably won't be able to make content as good as them, you know what I'm saying? So, but it wasn't until like 2019 when I saw Mask come into the picture and Real Life Ryan come into the picture, and they started talking about Berserk. And they were just putting out videos, and grant you, not a lot of their videos were like the best at the time, right? When they were starting off. And then, but even then, I still put it off. And I think it was just also like life situations and stuff like that, like I have to like get a real job and stuff. And I always found like an excuse to be like, okay, I'm not gonna start. But it wasn't until recently where I started watching again, like the Masked Man's videos, and I was just like, oh, I think I want to do this. And also when the Anime Man and Sea Dog and Giguk, when they started their Trash Taste podcast, I was like, I want to be like that. I want to be able to make friends with people who like the same thing about that I like, you know what I mean? Because it's pretty fucking hard, like, to be like, okay, like, talk to people that you know, but they don't like the same like anime as you. That's the problem. Like, my friends like anime, but they don't like the same animes as me. So it's really hard to like talk to them about the ones that I like. and it's really tough to get them to watch the ones I want them to watch. But yeah, that's basically how I got into YouTube. And listen,
I feel like with friends, it's very often.
If you're going into YouTube, do not try to put 5 videos out in the span of 3 days. Don't do that. Because I did that and I realized, holy shit, I'm burning myself out. You cannot do that. Don't do that. Do not do that. Take your time, you know. But yeah, continue what you was gonna say, Colin.
Yeah, I'm sorry for trying to cut you off there. I thought you were done talking, but for friends, like getting them into anime, I definitely feel like you recommend something to a friend in real life, and they're immediately coming at it from the approach of, this is probably trash, and you're like,
thank you.
I thought we were friends.
Thank you. Thank you. I tried to put my friends onto JoJo's so much. It's really hard. Because the thing is, most of them, they only watch the mainstream stuff. So they've only watched like One Punch Man, Dragon Ball, My Hero Academia, Full Metal Alchemist, and countless others, you know. But they're mostly mainstream stuff. So when I showed them JoJo's, I think it was just a thing like, you know, JoJo's, it's the same, like at least from parts 1 through like 6 and early part 7, they're shonen, right? But the thing is that it's so different as well, because it's just so weird. You know what I'm saying? At the same time.
Yeah.
So I think that's what put them off. And I think also the memes that they've seen too of JoJo's, that is like, okay, like there's, like I think they saw like there's nothing this anime is gonna offer me compared to the ones I'm already watching. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I also want to put this out there. If there are any AniTubers, I don't care whether you have 15 subscribers or 2 million subscribers. If you reach out to me for a collab, I'm gonna say yes. I want it to happen. I have been doing everything I can to have as much involvement with the community as I can, because it's a community I care about and that I want to support. So if you're watching this and you're an AniTuber and you want to collab on anything with anybody, you can hit me up and I'll probably say hell yeah.
I mean, he did that for me, guys. So he just reached out to me in one of my videos. He was like, hey, you want to shoot a collab? And I was like, sure, get on Discord. We'll talk about it. It's that simple. And don't be afraid. I mean, yeah, it's definitely like when you like meet someone on the internet, you know, you don't know who they are, right? And you know, it always comes across your mind like who is this person? How, like, are they just showing me one side of them from that and I don't know another side? You know, you got kind of what I'm trying to like say, you know?
Yeah, I hear you.
But yeah, like, but I mean, you know, just go with your gut. You know, if you see that person is, you know, really open and fun to talk to and stuff, then, you know, go ahead and just you know, like, make friends. That's it. Like, just don't be afraid to make friends. I think that's what I'm just trying to say. Don't be afraid.
Be nice, and when you're toxic, be wholesome toxic.
Right.
Don't be toxic.
Right. Exactly. Like let your opinion be known, but you know, don't try to rub it in either, you know.
Okay. I'm gonna ask the big question. I'm gonna ask, how on earth did you get a collab with the Masked Man? How did this happen? That's how I found you in the first place. And I was like, oh, cool, the Masked Man's doing a new collab, and I've not heard of this guy. I go to check you out. You're like 70 subscribers. So I'm like, oh, this lucky bastard. What the heck?
Nah. I mean, I basically did like what you did. I just like saw that Mask uploaded a recent video, and it was like 5 minutes already uploaded, and I was like, okay, let me just go and comment, right? Let me just see if he wants to do this, because I mean, he was one of the first like YouTubers that I was like, okay, I want to talk. I really want to talk to this guy, because like he seems like he likes like a lot of the stuff that I like, so I really want to like, you know, get that connection with him and stuff like that. So then I just like went on his comments and said, yo, the nice video, do you want to do a collab? And he's like, sure, get on Discord. And that's basically how it went from there. Granted,
that's cool. That's really cool.
I was so nervous. I don't know if you've seen the collab, Colin, but bro, I was like, me talking on the fly was atrocious. Oh my god. I kept on saying, people in the comments were saying I kept on saying like too much, and like my mic wasn't as the best and stuff. Like, but hey, I did it. I spoke to the masked man. That's all that counts, I guess. That's all that counts, bro.
I feel like a lot of people tend to forget that they're just YouTubers. They're just people. They're the same, like, they're the same as you or I.
Right.
They've just been doing this longer, or they found some success through some other means, or whatever it is. Maybe they just blew up. They had a viral video,
Right.
and most of them have professional equipment at this time. So yeah, their content is often going to be edited a lot cleaner. It's going to be nicer and more enjoyable for the most part, even in my opinion. But at the same time, people tend to almost forget, like they're celebrities or something, that like these are just people, dude.
Right.
And we can reach out to them. We can be like, hey man, you want to chill? You want to talk about anime?
Exactly.
And they might not say yeah, because they got a million other people who would love to do that.
Right.
And that's good for them. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't reach out, because you could be missing an opportunity. So to any other smaller AniTubers, I would highly recommend that you do exactly what GR Chris did. And if you want to do a collab with somebody, no matter how big or small they are, just reach out and be like, hey man, I'm here. And maybe you won't get anything, but what's it? It's no loss. So don't take it to heart, man.
Right. I mean, Colin, I was gonna wait until the end of the podcast to ask you, but like, you're a big Nux fan, right? So how about we try to get Nux into this podcast, at least for one episode?
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely a goal out there. If that's something that we can make happen, then
that'll be amazing.
I'm gonna be a happy boy. Bro, because I would love to get Nux's opinions on some things. I'd love to hash some things out with him, and also like, I know me and Nux don't agree on everything. I really value Nux's opinions on things. I think he's pretty great. He memes on things pretty hard, to the extent where sometimes you're like, dude, I don't know whether or not you're serious. Like how highly he rates Digimon. It hurts me a little bit. But I enjoy his content nonetheless.
Right. Because I mean, he's funny. I don't know. I think recently I've seen a lot of people on at least the people that I follow on Twitter. Oh, hold on. Sorry.
And cut.
We're gonna cut that out, right? but yeah. Back to what I was saying. I mean,
we can edit that to make that hilarious. Right? Don't worry.
Colin, you there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah. But yeah, like with on Twitter, I've at least with the people that I follow, I've seen a lot of them hate on Nux. I don't know why. I don't even know why they take him serious sometimes. Cause it's like, oh my god. Okay. So I don't know why they take him serious, because it's like, he's just saying whatever, and he's just obviously joking around. Like I don't see why you guys like take it so to the heart what he says. He's just having fun, dude. Talking about stuff.
If Jam is listening to this, Jam is another smaller YouTuber who's been doing this for a little while. He comes from a Roblox channel and all that. Sorry to expose you, Jam. Not sorry, but Jam is someone that I've had like huge disagreements on literally everything with, but I think we're still pretty tight. Like we're good, because in the end we're just talking about anime. Like we don't need to agree on everything, and it's fun to get someone else's perspective. Right. He rates Tokyo Ghoul a total of a 5 out of 10 with everything considered. Right. And it's like, okay, if you go to the manga, first of all, I would give the manga an 8 out of 10. If you go to the anime, I'd give it a 4 out of 10. So
I mean, hey man, everybody has their own opinions, like, and as long as you guys understand that, like, you guys won't agree on everything, but I mean that shouldn't affect your friendship, right? It's just an opinion.
Yeah, no, of course not.
But I mean,
and like people who get triggered that easily, it's almost just like, yeah, I'm gonna laugh at you. Don't take it personally.
Right, like I don't.
Or do.
Yeah, but I mean, I have a question, Colin. Have you seen All Gas No Racks? I mean, all gas no brakes. Whoa, have you seen that?
I don't think so.
Oh my god,
I don't think so.
It's some of the best content right now on YouTube that I've seen, bro. It's hilarious. This guy Andrew he's amazing. So basically what he does is that he goes to like different conventions, right? and he gets some of the most craziest interviews. And I mean crazy. Like, we're talking about crackhead levels of crazy. Like, bro.
You'll have to send me a link, man. I'll watch it.
Oh, yeah, I'll definitely do that. I'll link you his channel. But, bro, oh my God. There's moments there that had me in tears. Like, it's just so funny because it's also his reaction, too. Because he's such a troll. And it's just so funny, people taking him seriously. And he's just going along with it like, yeah, man, yeah, you're right, you're definitely right. But he's fucking trolling, and it's fucking amazing. It's some of the best content I've ever seen, and it's so creative too. Cause the thing is, he goes around America to like different places to like where he thinks like he can get the best content. And some of the best some of the best videos that I've seen from him is definitely one called Florida Man. Oh my God, that video. Oh my God, Colin. Brace yourself. Like, you need to turn off your brain, bro. Like, to grasp what's going on, because there's some dumb shit that people do, and it's just hilarious. And the fact that this guy Andrew, he just puts on a regular suit, right? And then the funny part, what makes it also funny, is that he uses this like old camera from like the 80s kind of, so it gives it like this old, like, old, like back in the day vibes basically. But it's funny. It's funny. Yeah. It's really funny. I'll definitely send you the link after the podcast, so that way you can. Yeah,
no, I'll definitely watch it. You know what just occurred to me that's kind of funny?
What?
So we spent yesterday, for maybe an hour brainstorming on the name of this podcast. And
you know what's funny? You were texting me when I was working out.
We didn't tell you guys the name of this podcast.
Bro, I was working out. Colin's texting me like, "Hey, what's the name for the podcast?" And I'm like, "Oh shit!" Right? We ain't been fucking thinking about that. But I was like, we were just coming up with some random names and stuff like that. Some were cool ideas, but we definitely thought like, "Hey, we could make it sound way better." And then we came up with the name we have now. You know, the Kishanakama room. And if you guys didn't know, Colin is way more versed in the Japanese language. He knows the meaning of a lot of words. So yeah, it was his idea. So basically, just to
yo man, don't give people expectations of me. I know some words, but that's it. I really don't know a lot of Japanese. Don't come at me, bro. I'm not ready.
Colin knows every Japanese word. He knows everything. He also knows the kanji. Bro, fucking kanji, bro. I look at that shit, I'm like, this is just a pile of drawings. How the fuck are you supposed to know what letter is this letter? Like, what is this? Bro.
So we welcome you guys, we welcome everybody to the first episode of the Kishanakama room.
Oh yeah.
And I hope that all of you have been enjoying this. We kind of blew through our topics really fast in this video. We've not really fast. It's been 50 minutes. But I definitely think we're gonna nail down exactly how we're doing things. And if you guys have like tournament arcs you guys want done, or things you want us to debate, or people you want to guest on this podcast, leave it in the comments below, and we're definitely gonna look for guests to have on the podcast. And even at that point, something I think is super important to let everybody know, GR, Chris, and I are looking for a third host. And we're not going to make that choice just based off someone that we like on one podcast. Right. We want someone who fits our chemistry, someone who fits in with our podcast.
Right. You have to also be very committed, too.
Yeah, we're going to be putting this podcast out at least once a week, and maybe more than that at some point, depending on how things line up with our time schedules and whatnot, because our time zones are a little different. But we'll see. We'll see what we can do for sure. At least one episode a week is what you guys can expect.
Well, nah, but holy shit, man. Oh my god. I mean, anime and manga, you're amazing. I'm trying to think of like, what else should we talk about? But it's like, nothing's coming to mind right now. So I'm just like spurting out like random stuff right now. I mean, Colin, do you have anything else to add?
I feel like we're probably gonna cut this one to about an hour, maybe a little bit shorter than that, just because we like I said, we did kind of go through those topics pretty darn quick and precisely.
Yeah, we gotta learn how to like slow it down. At least I think.
As far as we can talk about our inspirations for YouTube, which we've touched on. You know, like
Yeah.
you mentioned, Nuxtalk is a huge inspiration for me. The Masked Man is a huge inspiration for you.
Right.
But let's talk about inspirations on a grander scale. Do you have any like other figures, whether they're a YouTuber or not, that are inspirations for you?
Does a drawing on the page count as my inspiration?
Yes, absolutely, dude. We're anti-tubers.
all right. No, but like seriously speaking, in real life, I think as one of my inspirations was definitely definitely Sea Dog. I'm not gonna lie, Sea Dog, cause I started watching him like very recent. I say when he moved about like when he moved to Japan around that time last year. So it was like recent, yeah. So I was just inspired the way that he started off, the way he just started off like voice acting, and he didn't have the best equipment at the time. But then, like throughout the 5 years that he's been on YouTube, he's grown so much, and I just was like, okay, I wanna do this. I wanna be like this guy. I really wanna be, as open, as funny as him and stuff like that. I think that's also what inspired me too, because I think he's mentioned a couple of times like, he was a shy guy before, right? But it wasn't until like he like actually found himself like around I think his early 20s around it. That's basically what he says, that he like really found himself and really found out like who he wanted to be in his life and stuff like that. But yeah, that's
yeah.
But as for the page, Guts from Berserk is definitely my inspiration, my favorite character. We gotta keep on struggling, boys. Just saying. Keep struggling.
Hey.
What about you, Colin?
Yeah, I actually found Connor through the Trash Taste podcast. I did not know who he was before
For
that.
real?
No cap.
I was expecting you to know at least all anti-tubers, to be honest, because you're really you
I don't
really
know how I
dive into it.
Yeah, no, I really dive into anti-tubers. Like, I'm the guy who knows all the anti-tubers.
Right.
And somehow I didn't know who Sea Dog VA was. So, come at me with that, because I deserve some judgment there. But as soon as the Trash Taste podcast came on and I saw this third guy up there, I was like, yo,
who the fuck
I
is
know
this
I've
guy?
been sleeping on something.
I've
been sleeping on something bad.
You were like that SpongeBob meme, the one where he looks like a man cave, like a caveman. I mean.
Yeah.
You were like that. You were like, who the fuck is this guy? Who is this new British dude? Like, who is this guy?
But since then, of course, I subbed to his channel,
right.
And I have watched tons of his videos
Have
by
you
now,
seen the Omegle one?
just to kind of like get a feel for him. Yeah. Have you seen all the ones related to like all that crap with his videos getting taken down?
Oh yeah.
Back when like
Bruh.
someone tried to like copyright strike his entire
'cause he
freaking channel.
He said something about like he was using the music that he thought he licensed, but it was considered a fake license and stuff like that. So he got into a whole predicament with all his videos and stuff like that. But thank God, like YouTube was able to fix that. Work with him and fix it.
Connor's grind on YouTube is definitely something that inspires me. But when it comes to just like inspirations on anything, I'm actually going to say that man, my brain stopped working right when I didn't need it to.
Colin said, "Yo, brain, shut off real quick. Give me a sec."
Yeah, brain shut off. Well, like there's tons of different actors who give me great inspiration. I like the cinemas. I grew up going to the movie theaters all the time before I got into anime. So for me, like, there's tons of actors that I really, really like. I can't tell you who I'm thinking of right now.
Johnny Depp.
Yeah, because they totally left mine. It is Johnny Depp. You're right.
I kind of guessed that one. I was like, oh, hold on. Everybody likes Johnny Depp, so it should be Johnny Depp. Come on.
It's Johnny Depp and Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey is the second one I wanted to mention, but I wanted to remember Johnny Depp first. Johnny Depp is like, I like how much he sells to his roles.
Right.
And it's just great. Jim Carrey's comedy is on a whole other level.
Definitely. I mean, even his early stuff was amazing.
I mean, Jim Carrey's lost his mind by now. Like, if you know anything about Jim Carrey as a person, like Jim Carrey as a person, he's gone bonkers. Jim Carrey's mind gone, but he's still really funny.
He became a monk. Everybody, that's what happened. Jim Carrey became a monk. Real life monk.
No cap.
Bruh.
No, dude, it's crazy. Some of the stuff that's like happens on that scene.
If we're talking about
actors lose their mind. So many actors go insane.
Right. But I mean, if we're talking about actors, I think one actor that really stands out to me is either Daniel Craig or what's this guy's name? Crap, I forgot his name. Oh, Al Pacino, from like Scarface, Carlito's Way, and all that. All of the cool stuff. I mean, a lot of people know him from The Godfather Part 1 or Godfather Part 2 and stuff like that. But yeah, those are the two that really stand out to me. Cause they really are, like you said with Johnny Depp, like they really sell the role. Like it's hard to tell if they're acting, cause it's like it's so goddamn good. Like I love when actors do that, where it's just like they put their 100%. It just like they just immerse you in the character. Like that's definitely why I like a lot of. Those two actors.
Yeah. I don't know if you could tell by my two actors I talked about, but I definitely have an appreciation for the slightly more crazy people in the world. Nux Taku being one of my favorite Annie-tubers, so that should be obvious.
Right.
And I think YouTube is another thing that kind of drives people a little bit crazy. Like, the bigger YouTubers are not normal people most of the time. Like, they are normal. They're normal in the sense that, like, they're just people. But, like, they've lost their minds a little bit. You can usually tell.
I don't know if you watched Penguin Zero or Critical. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Dude, some of the YouTubers he be reviewing about, oh my god, I'm just like, how did it get to this point? Like, who allowed this? He even says it too. He's just like, yo, how did this bullshit get onto the internet in the first place? Like, it's just crazy, dude.
Yeah, don't. Critical Best Actor of 2019. Just gonna say,
he's fucking amazing, yo. Like, I don't know. I think it's just his voice. It's just so funny, cause he's just like so chill about it.
He's so chill and like almost monotone, and just like everything he says, his delivery is pretty solid. Gotta say, I do appreciate Critical.
Videos. For some reason, it's just so simple. He's just like, okay, that's it. See ya. And that's like, it just cuts off right there. Like, that's just, I don't know. I just really like the way he ends his videos. It's just so simple.
That's really the beauty of YouTube. YouTube is just a platform of a whole bunch of, like, it's a news reporter type platform. Except your news reporters are a whole bunch of random people who just decided to talk to you on the internet.
For real. That's basically it.
Like, they have no qualifications, and that's what makes them the best choice.
Exactly. I mean, who's an example that we can use for that? Like,
someone who just like kind of reports on things. I guess you could say.
Other than the ones we.
There was someone who had.
Obviously.
Yeah. There's people who just, I would say, what's his name? Gosh darn it. There's this one YouTuber. I'm actually gonna look for him right now because I'm doing him a disservice by not remembering his name. But he reports on literally everything when it comes to studios and like different things going on in the background scenes of your favorite anime and manga. He knows what's going on with the studios. He knows what's going on with the voice actors, and he knows the scene. He just keeps up with the social aspect of all these things.
Who is this guy? I never heard
I'm gonna find him for it. Hiro Hei.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, Hiro, Hero, and then space Hei. Now, I am gonna say, if you don't like drama, don't check this guy out. Don't check this guy
it's just
out, because
drama.
he doesn't get himself into the drama, but it is usually what he's talking about is other people's drama. So he keeps up with like what's happening on Twitter, what's happening on YouTube, what's happening with the studio, why did this get delayed, what's happening, why is there a lawsuit? He knows all these things.
Basically.
Yeah, he's the
guy that knows everything.
Guy who knows what's happening.
He's the guy that knows everything and leaks everything. He's just like, yeah, fuck it. Let me just let everybody know what's going on. I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks. Just here you go.
He makes tons of videos. He posts like several times a day sometimes. And like,
I'm surprised.
Just talking about super short videos that are just like, yo, this is what's happening. And like, there'll be times where he posts like 4 times a day for a week straight.
That's crazy.
And then he doesn't take a break.
That's fucking crazy. That's just I don't know, what is he on crack? Like what like what is he
Well, they're short simplistic videos. He literally just reports something for 5 minutes and it's over. And it's like it's pretty smart. It's pretty smart. Right. He's almost just an investigative YouTuber, who just keeps track of everything happening and then tells everyone what's happening.
Right. But yeah, I mean, I think we can cut the podcast right here. I think that We reached the,
Alrighty.
you know, the almost.
Do we have an
hour.
outro? Do we have an outro?
But yeah, thank you guys for joining us in the podcast today. This has been your host, GR Chris, and this has been my co-host, Colin.
Kaihen Dutaku. I'm fast. I'm smart.
Hold on. Let's redo that. Hold on. All right. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for joining us. This has been your host, GR Chris, and my co-host.
And Kaihen Dutaku.
And we're off.